Welcome to the 21st century, a time of unprecedented change and technological revolutions. We've walked on the moon, split the atom, and mapped the human genome. In this video, we'll dive into the most important lessons Harari explores in his groundbreaking book. Lesson 1 begins with disillusionment. In the 20th century, grand narratives such as fascism, communism, and liberalism promised a better future for humanity. These isms were like cosmic recipes for a utopian society. However, by the 21st century, these ideologies have lost their appeal, leaving us without a clear direction. Fascism led to the horrors of World War II. Communism often devolved into totalitarian regimes, and liberalism grapples with economic inequality and political polarization. Harari argues that in a world of political uncertainty and rising populism, we need to rethink how we approach governance, society, and the future. Instead of clinging to outdated ideologies, Harari encourages us to embrace critical thinking, adaptability, and a willingness to learn from our mistakes. Just as science constantly updates its understanding of the universe, so too must we update our understanding of the world and our place in it. The fall of grand narratives is not the end of history, but the beginning of a new chapter. Artificial intelligence and automation are reshaping our economies at warp speed. Harari explains that many jobs, both blue-collar and white-collar, are at risk of being replaced by machines. This technological revolution forces us to ask some fundamental questions. What is the future of work? How do we ensure equality in a world driven by algorithms? Work provides not just income but purpose, identity, and social connection. The rise of automation could lead to mass unemployment, social unrest, and a widening gap between the haves and the have-nots. Harari warns that the gap between those who understand AI and those who don't could lead to significant social and economic divides. Instead, we need to adapt our education systems, invest in retraining programs, and rethink our social safety nets to prepare for a future where work looks vastly different than it does today. We need to ensure that the benefits of AI and automation are shared by all of society, not just a privileged few. We live in the information age where we're bombarded with more data than ever before. But here's the catch. Not all information is created equal. In fact, we're drowning in a sea of misinformation, propaganda, and outright lies. Harari discusses how fake news, misinformation, and media manipulation can easily spread in a world dominated by the internet. With so much information at our fingertips, distinguishing truth from fiction becomes increasingly difficult. We're constantly scrolling through our social media feeds, where algorithms prioritize engagement over accuracy and clickbait headlines prey on our emotions. This isn't just about annoying ads or political spin. It's about the erosion of trust in our institutions, the polarization of society, and the very foundations of democracy. When people can no longer agree on basic facts or trust the sources of information, it becomes incredibly difficult to have meaningful conversations, let alone solve complex problems. Harari urges us to develop critical thinking skills to navigate this overwhelming flow of data and protect the integrity of democracy. We need to be skeptical consumers of information, questioning our own biases, cross-checking sources, and being wary of anything that seems too good or too bad to be true. We live in a world that's more interconnected than ever before. Thanks to globalization, goods, services, and information flow across borders with unprecedented ease. But this interconnectedness also creates new challenges and anxieties. Harari highlights the tension between two powerful forces: nationalism, which focuses on protecting local interests, and globalism, which aims for international cooperation. People are becoming increasingly concerned about preserving their national identities, cultures, and economic interests in the face of globalization. They see jobs being outsourced, borders becoming more porous, and their way of life changing at a rapid pace. On the other hand, we face global challenges like climate change, terrorism, and pandemics that require international cooperation and coordination. The 21st century demands that we find a balance between these ideologies, particularly in addressing global challenges like climate change, terrorism, and economic inequality. Harari argues that the key lies in finding a new kind of global identity, one that recognizes our shared humanity while respecting our diversity. It's not about creating a single world government or erasing cultural differences, but about recognizing that we're all in this together. Immigration is one of the most complex and contentious issues of our time. Harari goes beyond the usual economic arguments and delves into the heart of the matter: identity. In an increasingly interconnected world, people are grappling with questions of belonging, integration, and cultural identity. Who are we? Where do we belong? What does it mean to be a citizen of a nation and of the world? For centuries, people have migrated across continents, seeking new opportunities, escaping persecution, or simply following their dreams. This movement of people has shaped the cultural landscape of our planet, leading to the exchange of ideas, customs, and traditions. Harari encourages us to think about what it means to be a global citizen and how we can foster empathy and cooperation between different cultures and communities. It's not about erasing our differences, but about recognizing that our shared humanity transcends our cultural backgrounds. We can learn from each other, build bridges of understanding, and create more inclusive societies that celebrate our diversity rather than fearing it. We live in a world where technology is not just something we use, it's something we increasingly live in. Our smartphones have become extensions of ourselves, social media platforms shape our perceptions of the world, and algorithms curate our news feeds and entertainment choices. Harari explores how this constant interaction with technology is shaping the human mind itself. We spend hours each day scrolling through social media, our brains flooded with dopamine hits from likes, comments, and notifications. We're constantly bombarded with information, stimulation, and distractions, leaving us feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and disconnected from the present moment. Our attention spans are shrinking, our ability to focus is waning, and we're becoming increasingly reliant on technology for everything from navigation to social interaction. The rise of digital dictatorships, where companies and governments have unprecedented access to our personal data, raises ethical concerns. Harari challenges us to reclaim our digital lives, to be more mindful of our technology use, and to set healthy boundaries between the online and offline worlds. The choice is ours. Of all the challenges facing humanity in the 21st century, climate change is arguably the most urgent and existential. This isn't about saving the planet will survive. It's about saving ourselves, our civilization, and the countless species that share this planet with us. Harari emphasizes that while individual actions like recycling are important, we need systemic change. The scale of the problem requires collective action on a global scale. Governments and corporations must take the lead in addressing environmental degradation, carbon emissions, and sustainability. We need to transition away from fossil fuels, invest in renewable energy sources, and develop new technologies to mitigate the effects of climate change. Harari's message is clear. Without a global effort to combat climate change, the future of humanity is in jeopardy. We're at a crossroads, and the path we choose will determine the fate of generations to come. In a world where traditional sources of meaning and purpose, religion, nationalism, even work, are being challenged or transformed, many people find themselves adrift, searching for something to believe in. With the decline of religion and traditional ideologies, we are left to create our own sense of purpose. For millennia, religions provided answers to life's big questions, offering a sense of purpose, community, and moral guidance. But in an increasingly secular world where science has challenged many traditional beliefs, people are seeking meaning and purpose from different sources. Harari suggests that meaning can come from self-awareness, compassion, and contributing to the well-being of others. It's about finding joy in the present moment, cultivating gratitude for what we have, and connecting with something larger than ourselves. It's about recognizing that our lives have inherent value, regardless of our religious beliefs or lack thereof. As we face an uncertain future, building emotional intelligence and finding personal fulfillment is more crucial than ever. Harari's 21 Lessons for the 21st Century is a wake-up call for all of us. It's a reminder that we're living in extraordinary times, facing challenges and opportunities unlike any in human history. From AI and climate change to nationalism and disillusionment, the challenges we face are monumental, but so are the opportunities. We have the potential to create a future where technology empowers rather than enslaves us, where diversity is celebrated rather than feared, and where humanity thrives in harmony with the planet. If we can navigate these issues with wisdom, empathy, and cooperation, we can build a future that benefits not just a select few, but all of humanity. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful book summaries and discussions.